I mean, yesterday I was sitting there, double booked for two absolute must-attend meetings. And I caught myself thinking, like, why can't I just highlight myself? Hit Command-C, Command-V, and send a duplicate into the conference room. It works for my file, so why is biology so lagging behind?
Well, it's the ultimate dream of efficiency, right? But honestly, even if we solve the biology side, the universe has a very strict digital rights management policy at the fundamental level. You've bumped right into the no cloning theorem.
Which is exactly what we are unpacking in today's deep dive.
Right.
We're looking at the seminal 1982 paper by Wooters, Zurich, and Dykes, and, giving credit to Park for his work in 1970. Our mission isn't just to explain why you can't photocopy a qubit, but to show why this restriction is actually the only reason quantum security works at all.
That's the real twist here. In the classical world, information is totally free to copy. But in the quantum world, creating an independent, identical copy of an arbitrary, unknown quantum state is strictly forbidden.
And we should clarify unknown for everyone listening, because if I know the recipe for a photon, say I know it's polarized vertically, I can easily make a million more just like it.
Correct. Or if you have orthogonal states like classical zeros and ones. But if I hand you a qubit in a superposition and you don't know what it is, you cannot build a machine to duplicate it. And it's not because we aren't clever enough, it's because of linearity.
Right, this is the core mechanism. Quantum evolution is linear. If a machine can copy state A and it can copy state B, then when you feed it a superposition of A and B, linearity forces the machine to produce a superposition of the copies.
But a true clone would be a product of the superpositions. The math simply doesn't equal out. You end up with an entangled mess rather than two independent copies. To actually copy it, you'd have to measure it first.
And measuring it collapses the wave function.
Yeah.
You literally destroy the very information you were trying to preserve.
Which is a profound hassle for computing. But before we get to how engineers creatively solve that, it brings up an interesting parallel to the classical world where scaling intelligence actually is possible.
That is a perfect segue. We might not be able to clone quantum states, but if you are looking to scale your business capabilities, you really need to check out our sponsor, Embersilk.
Whether it's AI training, automation, or software development, Embersilk is fantastic at uncovering where agents can make the most impact.
Exactly. If you want to see what AI can really do for your workflow, essentially giving you that copy-paste efficiency in the business world, head over to embersilk.com. Now, jumping back to the quantum world, we established that you can't clone an unknown state. This sounds like a bug, but in cryptography, it's a massive feature.
It's the foundation of quantum key distribution, like the BB84 protocol. Suppose Alice sends Bob a secret key encoded in qubits. If an eavesdropper, Eve, tries to intercept it,
Eve wants to copy the key to read it later, but since she can't clone it, she has to measure it. That measurement collapses the state, introducing errors that Alice and Bob can instantly detect.
Precisely. The security isn't based on hard math problems that a supercomputer might crack in 10 years. It's guaranteed by the physical laws of nature. If the error rate is too high, they know someone is listening, and they dump the key.
It's a burglar alarm that cannot be bypassed. But I have to ask about quantum teleportation. We see headlines all the time about teleporting states. Isn't that just copying?
It's cut and paste, not copy and paste. In teleportation, Alice uses entanglement to send the state to Bob, but the process necessarily destroys the original state at Alice's end. The no cloning theorem remains undefeated.
So the information moves, it doesn't duplicate. That makes sense, but it must be a nightmare for data storage. If my hard drive crashes, I restore from a backup. You can't back up a quantum computer if you can't clone the data.
That is the biggest hurdle in the field. But human ingenuity always finds a way. Engineers use quantum error correction. Instead of backing up the data, they smear the information across multiple entangled qubits.
So if one qubit goes haywire, the information is preserved in the correlations of the others.
Yes. It allows us to protect the data without ever measuring and thus destroying the individual unknown states. It's a brilliant, highly optimistic workaround.
It seems the universe closes a door but leaves a wonderful window cracked open.
It always does. And there is a beautiful symmetry here to leave you with. The no deleting theorem.
Let me guess, the time-reverse duel of no cloning.
It is. Just as you can't perfectly copy quantum info, you can't perfectly delete it either. In a closed system, information is conserved. It might get scrambled into the environment, effectively lost to us, but the universe remembers.
That is surprisingly comforting. Nothing is ever truly gone, it's just beautifully redistributed.
It's a very hopeful perspective on the persistence of reality.
I absolutely love that. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the physics of information, please subscribe to our show, Intellectually Curious.
And leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really helps us spread the word about these amazing topics.
Thanks for tuning in.